Continuing with the chapter, the play, the proposal. Now we understand that there are three people who are leading the play. Chubukovs and Lomov, they are neighbors. Was at Chubukov's house to ask for his daughter's hand for marriage, right? But he presented his view in front of Chubukov, and Chubukov was really very happy to learn that. But before he could tell this thing to Natalia, Chubukov's daughter, Natalia and Lomov entered into an argument. It started with a discussion, but it converted into an argument on the possession of Oxen Meadows, right? Where Lomov stated that Oxen Meadows belonged to them, but Natalia argued strictly that it belonged to them, right? So soon the clash, the discussion, the argument converted into a fight where finally Lomov threatens them to take them to the court on this matter, while Natalia and Chubukov are also very rude towards Lomov. We find Lomov panicking and moving out of the house, and both father and daughter, Natalia and Chubukov, actually cursing him. Now, this section we are going to start.
Shall I start?
You
To propose to me, bring him back, bring him here.
Bring whom here?
Quick, quick, I am ill, fetch him.
What is that? What is the matter with you? Oh, unhappy man that I am, I will shoot myself. I will hang myself. We have done for her.
I am dying, fetch him.
Tifu, at once, don't yell.
What have they done to me? Fetch him back, fetch him.
He is coming, and so on, devil take him. Oof, talk to him yourself. I don't want to.
Fetch him.
He is coming, I tell you. Oh, what a burden. Lot to be the father of a grown-up daughter. I will cut my throat. I will indeed. We cursed him, abused him, drove him out, and it's all you.
No, it was you.
I tell you, it is not my fault. Now you talk to him yourself.
My heart's palpitating awfully. My foot's gone to sleep. There's something that keeps pulling in my side.
Forgive us, Ivan Vassilevich. We were all a little heated. I remember now. Oxen Meadows really are yours.
My heart's beating awfully. My meadows, my eyebrows are both twitching.
The meadows are yours. Yes, yours. Do sit down. We were wrong.
I did it on principle. My land is worth little to me. But the principle?
Yes, the principle. Just so. Now let's talk of something else.
The more so as I have evidence. My aunt's grandmother gave the land to your father's grandfather's peasants.
Yes, let that pass. I wish I knew how to get him started. Are you going to start shooting soon?
okay? Now here we see as Lomov comes back, first of all, we see that Natalia tells her father that please fetch Lomov back, because she learns now that he was there to propose her for marriage. So she doesn't want to let that opportunity skip out of her hands. So Chibukov on this says that you were the one who was cursing him right now, and now you want him back. So she says, yes, bring him back, otherwise I'm going to faint. I will die. I want him back at any cost. So we find that melodrama here in the play where everybody starts overreacting earlier because this argument was going on. So Lomov also behaved in the same manner. Now Natalia is behaving in that manner. Just few minutes before, he was cursing him, he was abusing him, he was using bad words for him and his family. And now all of a sudden, when she realizes that he was interested, he was keen to marry her, she tells her father to bring him back, otherwise she's going to die, otherwise she's going to shoot herself, right? Otherwise she's going to die basically. So Chubukov on this says, Another melodrama we find in Chibukov's attitude also here. Even he starts cursing himself. He says, "Oh, how much unhappy man I am! I'll shoot myself. I'm having a daughter like you." Right? So then finally, because Natalia is telling him that he wants Lomov back. So Chubukov goes and calls Lomov back. Meanwhile, we again see that what when he is telling, like he's cursing himself, oh, what a burden, Lord, to be a father of a grown-up daughter. He says, I'll cut my throat. I will indeed. We cursed him, abused him, drove him out, and it's all of you. So now the father and the daughter, they themselves are discussing, no, it was you who was cursing him. Chubukov tells Natalia, and Natalia says, no, it was not me, it was you. So both are also into an argument. And then finally, Lomov is called back. So Lomov re-enters, who is exhausted, who is very in a very bad mood. But then Natalia simply, without any discussion, tells him, "Dear, please forgive us. Now I've realized that Oxen Meadows belong to you." So we find how greedy and how clever these people are. Natalia, as a girl who is so much money minded, she was discussing, she was fighting, she was arguing with Lomov on the possession of Oxen Meadows. Now all of a sudden she has changed her mind because she has realized that this man wanted to marry her, and ultimately, if Lomov marries Natalia, then all the entire his estates, his property, everything is going to be Natalia's only, right? So realizing this, she simply says, "Oh, okay, Oxen Meadows are yours. Let it be yours." Lomov is still saying that, "Be it on principle. I'm just talking of principle. The land doesn't matter to me much, but yes, on principle, it was wrong." So Natalia says, land is yours, we did it wrong, I was mistaken on that part, and let's not discuss it, let's talk about something else. So now she's diverting the topic. She doesn't want to discuss on it because there was already a big argument on that. So she says, are you going to start shooting soon? Please continue from this point, page number 153. Let's continue, Lomov.
I'm thinking of having a go at the Black Cock. Honored Natalia Stepanovna, after the harvest. Oh, have you heard? Just think, what a misfortune I have had. My dog, guess who you know, has gone lame.
What a pity. Why?
I don't know. Must have got his leg twisted or bitten by some other dog. My very best dog, to say nothing of the expense. I gave Mironov 125 rubles for him.
It was too much, even Vassilevich.
I think it was very cheap. He's he's a first rate dog.
Papa gave 85 rubles for his squeezer, and squeezer is keeps better than guess.
Squeezer better than guess? What an idea. Squeezer better than guess.
Of course, he's better. Of course. Squeezer is young. He may develop a bit, but on points and pedigree, he's better than anything that even Volkanistiki has got.
Excuse me, Natalia Stepanovna, but you forget that he is overshot. And an overshot always means the dog is a bad hunter.
Overshot is he? The first time I hear it.
I assure you that his lower jaw is shorter than the upper.
Have you measured?
Yes, he's all right at following, of course. But if you want to get hold of anything,
In the first place, our squeezer is a animal, thoroughbred animal, the son of harness and chisels. While there is no getting at the pedigree of your dog at all, he is old and as ugly as a worn out cab horse.
he is old, but I wouldn't take five squeezes for him. Why, how can you? Guess is a dog. As for squeezer, well, it's too funny to argue. Anybody you like has a dog as good as Squeezer. You may find them under every blush almost. 25 rubles would be a handsome price to pay for him.
There's some demon of contradiction in you today. Even Vassilevich, first you pretend that the meadows are yours. Now that guess is better than Squeezer. I don't like people who don't say what they mean. Because you know perfectly well that Squeezer is 100 times better than your silly guess. Why do you want to say he isn't?
Okay, now we find when she talks about when Natalia tells Lomov that what about shooting. So he's saying that I'm thinking of having a go to the Black Cock, honor Natalia Stepanova after the harvest. Then then he further says, "Oh, have you heard? Just think what a misfortune I have had. My dog, guess who you know, has gone lame. So dog, maybe he has got an injury on his leg, so he's not able to walk properly. So Lomov shares this thing with Natalia. Now on this, Natalia further says, "Oh, really?" First, she feels sorry for the dog, and then she says, then the discussion further goes on, where Lomov tells that he purchased that dog for 125 rubles. So on this, Natalia says, 125 rubles for this dog? It's too much. So Lomov says, no, it's very cheap because the dog is a first-rate dog. Natalia said that her father, means Mr. Chubukov, has purchased another dog squeezer for 85 rubles, right? Lomo says 85 rubles for squeezer. Squeezer is not worth it, right? So squeezer is, and he further says that, do you think squeezer is better than guess? No, squeezer is not better than guess. Now the topic of discussion or argument, we can say, on dogs. Both of them are, in a way, they are trying to prove that their dog is better than the other's dog, right? Lumov is firm on the point that his dog Guess is a first rate dog and is much better than Natalia's dog Squeezer. Natalia, on the other hand, says that his dog is old, he's very cheap, he's not having a good pedigree, and they're talking about all that stuff. And then she further points out, no, that her dog is much better than Lomov's dog. So when the both are rigid on their part, I mean, this is something very natural. When you feel that your thing or your possession is the other is best than the others, then at this point somewhere a sensible man would drop the discussion there only, right? But they were still continuing with the discussion, proving, trying to prove that mine is better than yours. Yours has having this disqualities, and mine is having these many strengths or these many qualities, right? So they were just doing the same thing. On this, Natalia finally says that there is some kind of contradiction in you today. You want to contradict every point of mine, and further you pretend, she said that earlier there was a, you pretended that majors were yours, and now that guess is better than squeezer. She said that I don't like people who pretend something else and actually they are something else. So why don't you be the way you are? So again, the discussion or that love talk, because the person is there to propose her, that is missing, and they are still into another argument. Let's continue, please.
I see, Natalia Stepanovna, that you considered me either blind or a fool. You must realize that Squeezer is overshot.
It's not true.
He is.
It's not true.
Why shout, madam?
Why talk not rot? It's awful. It's time your guess was shot. And you compare him with Squeezer?
Excuse me. I cannot continue this discussion. My heart is palpitating.
I have noticed that those hunters argue most who know feast.
Madam, please be silent. My heart is going to pieces. Shut up.
I shan't shut up until you acknowledge that Squeezer is 100 times better than your guess.
100 times worse. Be hanged to your squeezer, his head, eyes, shoulder.
There's no need to hang your silly guess. He's half dead already.
Shut up. My heart's bursting.
I shan't shut up.
What is the matter now?
Papa, tell us truly, which is the better dog, our Squeezer or his guess?
Stephen Stepanovich, I implore you to tell me just one thing. Is your squeezer overshot or not? Yes or no?
And suppose he is. What does it matter? He is the best dog in the district for all that and so on.
But isn't my guess better? Really? Now?
Don't excite yourself, my precious one. Allow me. Your guest certainly has his good points. He is turbid, firm on his feet, has well sprung ribs, and all that. But my dear man, if you want to know the truth, that dog has two defects. He is old and he is short in the muzzle.
Excuse me. My heart. Let's take the facts. You will remember that on the Marusinski hunt, my guess ran neck and neck with the Count's dog, while your squeezer was left a whole verse behind.
He got left behind because the count's whipper in hit him with his whip.
And with good reason. And
Please
with
wait
a
for a
good
second.
reason.
Wait, take a pause here. Let me give the explanation of this speech. Now, we find that Lomov and Natalia, they are again into this hot debate that whose dog is better, right? We find Lomov who says that, Madam, please, no, don't, there's no need to shout. I'm pal, my heart is going to pieces. I'm very feeling very bad. Please stop the discussion here. So Natalia says, and Lomov simply tells her to shut up. But Natalia says, I shan't shut up till the time you acknowledge that my dog is 100 times better than yours. On this, Lomo says that yours is 100 times worse, right? Now, here we find that the argument continues and Chubukov enters. So he says, what's the matter now? Why you two are fighting now? So on this, Natalia says, Papa, you tell that whose dog is better. So Lomov says, Stepanovich, he simply questions Chubukov that you have to tell whose dog is overshot. Overshot is like who's every time on his toes to attacking more or something like that. So Chibukov says, and suppose he is, what does it matter? He is the best dog in the district for all that, and so on. So he says that even if my dog is overshot, Chibukov is answering back, still he is the best dog. So Chibukov, don't excite yourself, my precious one. So Chubukov says that, don't excite yourself, my precious one. Allow me. Your guest certainly has his good points. So Chubukov, in that somewhere in that negotiating manner, ki, okay, yours is also good, ours is also good. Now let's not argue. So he says that, allow me. Your guest certainly has his good points. He is purebred, firm on his feet, has well-sprung ribs and all that. But my dear man, if you want to know the truth, the dog has two defects. So two defects your dog has, that is he is old and he is short in the muzzle. Lomov says, excuse me, my heart, let's take the facts. You will remember that on the Marinsky hunt, my guest ran neck and neck with the count's dog, while your squeezer was left a whole verse behind. So that dog racing they're talking about, that happened maybe few days back. So Lomov is trying to recall that event, that when his dog competed with somebody else's dog while Squeezer was left far behind. So Chibukov on this says he got left behind because the count's whipper in hit him with his whip. So Chibukov says that he was behind because the count's whipper had hit him on with his whip. The whipper man had hit him in his whip, so that was the reason that Squeezer was left behind, right? Let's continue. So the argument is still in continuation now about the dogs. Now again, three of them, when Natalia and Chibukov, they are very sure that their dog Squeezer is much better than Lomov's guess, and Lomov is struggling to prove that his dog is better than theirs. So again, the proposal part, asking for her hand to marry her, right? That is still there. That is still not disclosed. Abhi bhi us topic pe they are not discussing. They are just entering into this unnecessary kind of argument and fights and clashes. And that the main purpose of the visit, why Lomov came to Chibukov's house, that is still not happening. Let's continue, please.
And with good reason. The dogs are running after a fox. When Squeezer goes and starts worrying a sheep.
It, it is not true, my dear fellow. I am very liable to lose my temper. And so, just because of that, let's stop arguing. You started because everybody is always jealous of everybody else's dog. Yes, we are all like that. You too, sir, are not blameless. You no sooner begin with that and the other and all that. I remember everything.
I remember too.
I remember too. What do you remember?
My heart, my foot's gone to sleep. I can't.
My heart, what sort of a hunter are you? You ought to go and lie on the kitchen oven and catch black beetles, not go after foxes. My heart.
Yes, really. What sort of a hunter are you, anyway? You ought to sit at home with your palpitation and not go tracking animals. You could go hunting, but you only go to argue with people and interfere with their dogs and so on. Let's change the subject in case I lose my temper. You are not a hunter at all, anyway.
And are you a hunter? You only go hunting to get in with the count and the intrigue. Oh my heart, you are an intriguer.
What? I am an integer? Shut up.
Intriguer.
Boy, poop.
Old rat. Jesuit.
Shut up, or I will shoot you like a partridge. You fool.
Everybody knows that. Oh my heart. Your late wife used to beat you. My feet, temples, sparks. I fall. I fall.
And you are under the slipper of your housekeeper.
There. My heart's burst. My shoulders come off. Where is my shoulder? I die. A doctor.
Boy, milk shop, fool. I am sick, sick.
What sort of a hunter are you? You can't even sit on a horse. Papa, what's the matter with him? Papa, look. Papa, even Vasilevich, he is dead.
I am sick. I can't breathe air.
So we find that the melodrama again here. The clash on the topic of dogs, whose dog is a better hunter, whose dog is better in breed, whose dog is who runs fast. All this discussion is converted into an argument, and then again into the argument into a fight where they start cursing each other, where they start using ill words for each other, right? We find here where Chubukov says, what sort of a hunter are you anyway? When he asked Lomov that what kind of a hunter are you? So you ought to sit at home with your palpitations and not go tracking animals. Chubukov simply tells Lomov that you are worthless. You do not do anything. You cannot even do hunting. You can track animals. You could go hunting, but you only to argue with people and interfere with their dogs and so on. Let's change the subject in case I lose my temper. You're not a hunter at all anyway. So they have started bringing out each other's weaknesses. So Lumov on this says that you are a hunter, you only go hunting to get it with a count and to intrigue. Oh my heart, you are an intriguer. So Chubukov says, I'm an intriguer, please shut up. So they start using, they're calling each other by bad words, using gold rat and all these things. So Chubukov says that you are a fool. And Lomov now again, he is in his palpitations where he says that my heart is going into pieces and all that thing. So he's fallen on the chair. So Lomov tells Chubukov that your late wife used to beat you, right? Chubukov says that my late wife used to beat me, but you are under the slippers of your housekeeper, that your housekeeper controls you. So again, we find that, accusations and blaming each other, talking negative sense about each other. So that thing is there. Again, there was a small discussion converts into an argument into a big fight, and then they start talking badly to each other. So Lomov says, then again, my heart's going to burst, and he falls into the armchair, and he says, doctor, doctor. He wants to the doctor to be called. Chibukov on this says, boys milk shop fool, I'm sick. So he says that he is sick. So Natalia, what sort of a hunter are you? You can't even sit on a horse. Then Natalia here, she tells his father Chibukov that please see him. What's the matter with him? Papa, look, Ivan Vassilevich, he is dead. So he says that Lomov Ivan Vassilevich, he seems as if he's dead. Means Lomov is in the chair, he's fallen into the armchair, he's almost unconscious. He's into that when he said that my heart is going to burst and all this, because he has taken all these things so seriously, the argument, the fight. Now it has hurted him, and he is whether it has actually happened to him or he's just pretending that he is sick and he's almost unconscious, right? So Chibukov, I'm sick, I can't breathe air. Now Chibukov also sick, I'm also sick that I am not able to breathe in, right? So Natalia finds that both of them are into that condition. Please continue, Natalia.
Ma'am, please unmute Sia.
She was already unmuted. Just give me a
Um,
second, Natalia.
He is dead. Even Vasilevich, what have you done to me? He is dead. A doctor, a doctor.
oh, what is it? What is the matter?
He's dead. Dead.
Who is dead? So he is, my word, water. A doctor, drink this. No, he doesn't drink. It means he is dead. And at all that, I am the most unhappy of men. Why don't I put a bullet into my brain? Haven't I cut my throat yet? What am I waiting for? Give me a knife, give me a pistol. He seems to be coming round. Drink some water, that is right.
I see stars, mist. Where am I?
Hurry up and get married and, well, to the devil with you. She is willing. She is willing and all that. I give you my blessings and so on. Only leave me in a peace.
What? To whom?
She is willing. Well, kiss and be damned to you.
He's alive. Yes, yes, I'm willing.
Kiss each other.
Kiss whom? Very nice. Two. Excuse me. What's it all about? Oh, now I understand. My heart starts. I'm happy, Natalia Stepanovna. My foot's gone to sleep.
I'm happy too.
What a weight off my shoulders of